I read some information about fake crystals of late. Are there, and what would they be? Man-made like goldstone or heat-treated? Are they not as effective?
Good question.
It is a good question.
Because
there's all sorts of stuff. Like, so a lot of citrine, for instance,
has been heat-treated.
It's been heat-treated, and it's basically just amethyst, and it changes colour when you heat it up. And they call it citrine, as opposed to natural citrine that is pure as it's come out of the earth,
but it doesn't look quite so fancy.
Yeah, it doesn't look quite as fancy. There's lots of things where crystals are being melted down and combined together, so they get lots of cheaper pieces, like rough little tumbles and stuff. They melt them down, combine them into something bigger. There's lots of kind of man-made obsidian type stuff, which is more like glass. There are all sorts of things. Whether you want to call them fake or not, I will leave up to you. As I said earlier, everything holds a vibration.
Everything can hold a charge. Now, I've worked with crystal skulls that are basically not crystal, they're glass. And although they weren't as responsive as a quartz skull, I still could feel a flow of energy. The quartz, the silicate, still holds a charge. So it's almost as if you have to maybe imbue your consciousness onto a man-made crystal a little bit more so than you would do if it was already actively created and conscious from the earth, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. But at the end of the day, come back to your intuition. If you see a crystal and you are drawn to it, it doesn't matter whether it's man-made or what.
It's meant for you.
Yeah,
basically.
Exactly. You can be drawn to a piece of cedar as opposed to a piece of oak because the cedar carries an energy and you are drawn to that. It's not a crystal, it doesn't hold as much of a vibration as quartz, but it still has an energy that you can be drawn to.
Absolutely.
It's exactly the same.
Yeah, it is.
And they can still be beautiful things. You know, we're talking a lot about working with crystals on an energetic level, but quite frankly, they're gorgeous things. They're just nice to have around or nice jewelry and stuff like that. If you're drawn to it for whatever reason,
it's meant for you.
Doesn't matter. That's this that tells us that it's not real. This tells us what it does.
Absolutely.